Are they in the Lagos studio? I'm coming. Are you in the Lagos studio to defend Yerima? What Yerima did, what the former chief of naval staff did, are their actions are they legal? If a former chief of naval staff want to buy a land, you cannot do proper documentation to know whether you have been scammed or not. That is why under them, that's why we have everywhere under them, then under Buhari we have everywhere overrun by Boko Haram, ISWAP and the rest. That is the problem. I cannot, as a private citizen, I cannot want to buy a land in Abuja that will not follow the T's, I will not cross all the T's, I will not dot all the I's. Well, it's even on her head that a former chief of naval staff will buy a land that is not properly documented. Well, where do we hear that kind of a thing? It's on head. It's on head. Please let us not glorify what we shouldn't glorify. Please, all of both sides can have their issues. I will just go in between. I will state what the law says, and that's just my own work here. I don't want to take side. I will say what the law says. The land in Abuja is vested in Wike, and he has every right to visit everywhere. If you are building a site, in your site is supposed to have all your documents to be in your site office. You have them in large format. You paste them on the wall. And we heard from all the altercation that has been going on that officers of the FCDA, they approached that place and they know document was given to them. If a document has been given to them or they've started a document, Wike does not need to be there. But you cannot beat the director and you beat the staff. You say minister does not have right to. Liborous was even saying Wike was jobless because he went there. What kind of language is that you are saying in the public? It's not done. You are blaming Wike that Wike says some things. Some people are blaming the Yerima that he said ordinary police, bloody police is talking to me. If you check under section 55 of Armed Forces Act, you will see that Yerima too has made some foul language against the Nigerian police force, and he should be punished. But I'm not here to come and do that. Let us the division of Wike, the Abuja land, and what the law says. That's just my own hint. That's just my.
Please, he has the right not to take a position. I came here to take a position. If he doesn't want to take a position, that is clearly his business. I came here to take a position. And like Liborous was also saying, please, that we should not eulogize the military. Stating the fact is not eulogizing anybody. The truth of the matter, and I know, I've been here long enough to know, in 2 years' time I'll be 50 years old, that the military has served Nigeria better than politicians. I am not saying bring us military government, no. I'm talking, this is factual. It's in 1999, these politicians have been stealing our monies. They find it difficult to even complete a project. I tell you, it's factual. I'm not over-utilizing. If you say that military now to tell this one, go and wear it.
I don't want to. Sorry, quickly, I must say this. I will repeat, let's not over-eulogize the military. The same way, my law uniform, I opted
I'm stating this fact.
While you are stating your fact, allow me to state my own fact. I opted to be a lawyer. If I wanted to join the military, I probably would have been retired by now. So I chose to do the one I am doing. If the military did not usurp our democratic space, we probably won't be here today. I also listened to read the statement of a former chief of army staff, Buratai, and I laugh, demanding for apology. People like that, we need apologies from them. All the Ezazaki people that were murdered in cold blood, till today, what happened? So I don't want to go into all of those ones. They all have their fault, and that's why I'm saying that I'm particular about the boy who was sent on an errand. The people who sent him on that errand resorted to self-help illegally in as far as land transactions and land protection is concerned. Wike also did not give. The moment he realized that there were no adequate notice, I also agree with Oyeniyi that for a retired chief of naval staff, even not for the kind of country that we run, where institutions have completely collapsed, you won't be buying a property where you don't have, and building where there are no proper documentations. If in Lagos State, for example, here, you can't build your house without approval. If they come, they will pull it down. Even if they have approval, you must build according to specification. And they will serve you adequate notice to remedy. They have served notice on clients, and we've gone there, we defend positions, and then they say, no, go back, amend here, amend this. In the same vein, what I am saying is there are chains of command. For a Wike, for example, you are too high. A minister, even though all land you hold all land in trust for the people, for and on behalf of the president, it does not. There is also what they call trespass. You can't just wake up one day and just trespass into my property without notice.
Yeah, but so
that's what we're saying. Did you serve them adequate notice? There were no notice. If the military attacked the police, then it becomes an institutional thing. You deal with it at the governmental level. And then the DSS officials that were guiding him, exposing him to some danger. If there was accidental discharge that day, we won't be discussing this. 1 minute silence, and then we'll say the man was a good man.
He used to go around and disrupting institutions from doing their job.
Hold your thoughts while we're going on a break. So we're going on a break right now. Grab a cup of tea, as I usually say, and see you right back on Perspectives. See you soon. Oyeniyi back in the house, please, because Oyeniyi, are you here with us?
Yeah,
okay, can you hear me? Okay, let me ask. Was Wike's decision to confront the officer the right move, but with the wrong approach, especially considering the verbal onslaught, the elevated tone, and the momentary loss of composure witnessed in that exchange?
You know, ordinarily in Yoruba language, we say, if you know my dog, you know this is my dog, and you beat my dog, I'm the one that you have beaten. If the FCTA has sent junior officers there, and they were rebuffed, and the director followed them, and from what we were hearing, that they were beaten. Director in federal, all federal directors are people who are in level 16 and 17, and you beat a director because you are a second lieutenant, because you are a military.
What about the exchange of words that what about the abuse?
I would not even be. I wouldn't be a minister. I wouldn't be a minister. Wike is a civilian. You understand me now? Let us go to the issue of the foul language and the issue of the abuse. Let us even go to that. Wike is not the commissioned officer in politics. He's a civilian. You understand? He's a politician. But somebody who was telling Wike that he's a commissioned officer was insulting police. Was insulting police. That we shouldn't forget about that. We can excuse Wike for that.
No, too long, so make it.
I know. We can. I say, you don't understand what I'm trying. Nobody trains politicians to behave as a politician. But this person was actually showing his certificate to Wike by saying, I'm a commissioned officer. Commissioned officer that was saying, I'm talking a bloody police officer is talking. What kind of language is that?
Does that
and it's a punishable offense under Section 55 of the Armed Forces Act. So we should also hammer on that. Yeah, why are they taking side? Why are they taking one side and they are leaving the other side? We cannot say we insult the person. Why we should leave the other person who has insulted police?
You haven't answered my question. I'm asking now. Two wrongs don't make it right. But I'm asking about the senior official's composure. And in this case, Wike was older, and Wike was in a higher position in the government than the officer. So calling him a fool, calling him all sorts of names. What do you say about that? Do you think this is what has worked against Wike when it comes to taking sides on this matter?
Maybe that is what has worked against the minister. Work against the minister. Automatically, if you look at this issue, we have different sides. We have people who are coming into this issue because they are in the opposition parties. We have people who are coming to this issue because they don't like Wike. We have people who are coming to this issue because they like the military. We have people who are coming to this issue because they are pro Wike. Are you getting that? So we have different sides. The people are now saying the military cannot take command from Wike to withdraw from that place, where the same group of people that said in 2020, Lekki told that it was Lagos State Governor Tinubu that gave order to those soldiers to kill those youth. Now you have returned. This is 2025. You said the military cannot take order from Wike as a civilian, but you were the one that was saying the military at Lekki took order from Sanwo-Olu and Tinubu to kill those people. So what are we going to be? Are we going to be situational on every issue? We shouldn't be situational. We should just be straight on every issue. Fine. Maybe because the director was beaten, or his staff was beaten, were beaten. Maybe we can now go in there and say all those things. Maybe I'm not in his emotion, so I can't judge him. But a commissioned officer who supposedly must have been properly trained shouldn't look down on Nigerian police force officers wherever they are, or any other paramilitary or military people. Okay. You understand me now? So that is the issue.
Okay, Oyeniyi, thank you. Let me get back to the house. You know, he's just spoken now about the fault of both sides.
Yes.
But the similar incident happened to the governor of Lagos State.
Yes.
His composure was totally different. So do you think that people are reacting more from the composure as opposed to who was right or wrong in this situation?
There are two narratives.
Let's compare the two of them.
Completely,
the way they reacted.
They are completely two incidents, two narratives. For the issue of Lagos State, it was a court judgment. It was a court judgment. Judgment had been delivered, and it was execution. So the police came to execute a court judgment in Magodo. I'm getting there. And then they took over the place, and then the governor, as a chief security officer, was invited to the place. That's massive land, allocated by Lagos State government. That there is a court judgment and execution had been levied. The governor came with his hands folded. He said, the man said, composure. The man said, the CSP said, I am acting on the instruction of the Inspector General of Police. He said, okay, call them. Tell them that the governor is here so that you people can leave. He said, without due respect, sir, I can't call them. They are too senior for me.
It's too low to call them.
Too low. They're too low. They are too senior for me to call. You call them because you are high up there. You see the interaction. You see the civilization. You see the. It wasn't as if, though, they went to tell the governor that some of your men were beaten, and he said, "Oh, the knight is shining armor. I'm going there with my armor and dislodge everybody." And so that is why I said, first and foremost, looking at the side of using the military to protect private property, he was wrong. let's call a spade a spade. It is wrong. If you felt that there was threat, but also, like I said, I blame our judiciary. I blame our system. It's a collapse. And then also, that is why the banks, most times, you're using land as collateral. They will scrutinize everything because of these challenges and these problems. Incessant revocation without notice, and And then, coming to the issue of Wike and the young boy, it is, by virtue of the Armed Forces Act, you cannot. He knows. Wike is a lawyer. He shouldn't be saying he's not a trained commission politician. He's a lawyer. And in law, decorum is required of every lawyer. And that is why, especially also one holding public office, decorum is required of you. And so you show the moment they reported to you that those men manhandled your officer, it becomes a crime. Whether they are commission officers or not, it becomes a crime against the land.
Yes.
And so at that point, you ensure, you don't go fighting for them, you ensure that you incident the matter appropriately and take it to the highest level and ensure that justice is obtained and meted out, quickly for your people. And then lastly on this, by that time, if that had happened, people would have been blaming this Yerima also for looking down and talking down on a police officer. It is the same military mentality of taking that the rest of us are half human.
People, when it happened with Governor Sanwo-Olu, people had more respect. People had a lot more respect for him because of the way he reacted.
Yes.
You see, before the incident of Sanwo-Olu and the CSP, there was a time a redneck, a colonel in the army, decided to drive on the PRT lane. And Governor Fashola came down from his convoy and approached the colonel, stopped him, and the man saluted him. And the governor asked him to do the right thing. Say, you are not the person that is supposed to do this. The governor chided him right there in public, and the man apologized. Not because it was all about the approach of the governor. If the governor had come down and said you are stupid, you are an idiot, and rain abuses on that colonel, I'm sure that the reaction would have been different.
But I want to ask now.
And tell the colonel that you are a big fool in public. There is no way the colonel would have taken you like that.
That a man in uniform cannot accept orders from a civilian.
You are dressed in uniform. A civilian has no reason to command you. He has no reason to command you.
No, but you just said now that
except your wife.
He chided him in public.
So you're saying no matter how high the civilian is, and no matter how low in position the person
that can command you is the commander-in-chief. He's a civilian, but he wears that toga immediately becomes
so
president.
Does that now render a senior official in the government powerless?
They say they should be liable to civil authority, accepted, but not to give them command.
Let's
not to give them command.
This legally. Let's look at the case between the colonel and Fashola. That's a higher officer. He did the wrong thing, and Fashola stopped him and chided him, and the military immediately dealt and disciplined him because they are known for discipline.
Okay, but what if the lines are blurred?
So, but if in a case like this,
can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
Whether it's right or wrong. What if the right or wrong depends? No. What if in the situation the right or wrong depends on going to the court to decipher that? But at that point in time, I'm a governor, I'm an elected official of this government, and I'm a very high-ranking one, and I still feel that what you have done is wrong. I cannot. What
I am saying is the person that you are relating with is a messenger. You are relating with a messenger. Somebody sent a messenger. You don't ridicule yourself to now begin to have altercation with a messenger. A mere messenger?
But couldn't
at that level, the messenger, considering his training.
Yeah, but couldn't he have respected the position of
the messenger, considering his training, is expected to obey the last order from his superior. Let me give you an instance.
From the superior instead of the first citizen of that state?
The first citizen of the state also should relate with the person that sent that messenger. Because at that level, it is not, he's trained to take orders. It's like a robot. Why do you think we call the military zombie?
They're robots, actually.
He's trained to be a robot. He's given instruction. Stand here.
So the only person who would have defied the order from is the commander-in-chief himself.
Even if the commander-in-chief will not do that.
And he decides to
do you know why do you think that even when Wike called the CDS and the CDS spoke with him, Wike was the one that left? Because at that level, do you know what
they're going to handle the matter?
Do you know exactly? Now you brought in this angle.
That's the right thing that Wike would have done.
At that level, they had told you, don't worry, Minister.
No, already before the incident, they had already discussed with you.
So, Minister, we will deal with this. Yes. You don't go to the feed and give him my driver. Let me give you an instance. You send your driver on an errand, and there, because I live or I feel that I work in the same place, I'm your superior in the office, and then I'm sending your driver on a contrary errand. Your driver won't go until he will call you, Madam, Oga say, make I do like this. So you say, my friend, is something wrong with you? I asked you to go and get me this. So that's what just played out. So Wike ridiculed himself. Like I repeat, he was jobless. If he he had job to do.
Yerima was born in River State in Port Harcourt, and when Wike graduated from school, Yerima was 5 years old.
So if he had a job to do, he wouldn't leave his office. What he would have done is, right there when they reported to him, get me the CDS. He said the man is a civilian, but the CDS sent soldiers. There, get me the CDS. But probably because they had told him we'll deal with it. And typical of him, he wants to be the knight in shiny armor, to be the one to take the glory. What if anything had happened that day?
Look at the exposure.
The exposure.
Look at the exposure that all the people that are supposed to shield him, expose him to. If anything had happened, maybe the story would have practically would have been different by now.
The Yerima said to a policeman, "I'm talking and you're talking."
Yeah, I actually disagree with that. None of these uniform people should look down on any of them. Yeah, because there are repeated clashes always emanating from this kind of.
We've seen it in Lagos. We've seen it in the barracks.
Nobody.
United voice.
As a matter of fact, the police have more powers under the constitution than the military. As a matter of fact,
very wrong of Yerima. Then do you know?
You don't address a sister security agency.
That is why I disagree with Jalingo.
Why did he not reduce the physical then?
That's
because the tension in that place.
you say it was stupidity on the part of both uniform.
One of them was even shouting, "I'm NIA." You know, all the security agencies were there.
So my point is,
NIA are not supposed to review themselves.
There was that lack of discipline from the uniform people. This of
even the secret police,
the way they expose Wike,
one even open his mouth and say, "I am NIA. Who are you?"
The way they expose their principal, you are trained to protect your principal at all time. And here you have a military man who is also trained. He's trained to protect the land. And here you expose your principal.
I mean, any gun.
And so,
very sure.
At that point, you don't look down on your fellow uniform. And you see this mentality, this military mentality of I'm superior to you.
Do
you know who I am?
More superior to
they always do it, and it's very wrong.
They do. They feel more superior.
That is why I am telling you, in Yerima's mind, that they will be looking at Wike and say, this dying sky, you are lucky that we're in a signal.
Let me get back to our Abuja guests. Oyeniyi, are you there, Mr. Oyeniyi? Can we get back to our Abuja guests so that we can include him in the conversation? Okay, Oyeniyi, do you think social media blew this incident out of proportion and painted Wike as a bully, ignoring the fact that he was enforcing government policy? You think social media played a very bad role in blowing it out of proportion?
Yeah, you know, social media. I used to be very, very, very active on the social media, but lately, social media of nowadays is not something to be glorified again. Like I've told you, we have legions of younger people now that because I don't know where this thing came from. That automatically, if you are not part of the government, you are totally against government. You even see people speaking ills of their country, and it's not something that we should be celebrating. Social media was the one that blew this out of proportion. You understand me? It was what that blew this out of proportion, because you see majority of people, commenters on social media, posts out, they are young people. You can hear my brother Liborous and Agba Jalingo were citing Fashola and Sanwo-Olu there. Why did Fashola and Sanwo-Olu did not go to court to take court order to turn the corner back? You understand me now? There are some actions that must be immediate. There are some actions that you go to court. There are some actions that you send notice. There's no way you will send notice when your staff, his director has been beaten. There's no way you send. And if you look at that video very well, because there are a lot of videos, not only one, not 2 or 3. When you look at it very well, you see the minister getting there and introduce himself, and the Yerima was saying, yes sir. He now say, okay, where are the documents of this place? He actually started with a request for the documents. But the lieutenant, whatever, was telling the minister that he had the document. Where is the document? Show it. The minister kept on, show it. Where is the document? Just show me the document. He was saying they had the document. You cannot. There's no verbal document. He kept on saying we have the document. We just show the document, and it was the same document that the FCTA staff went there to go and ask of. That guy and his team they were stationed there because they know that land is already illegal. In Abuja or any other state, some of us we have property in Abuja. We have in the other states now. Once the purpose of the use of land has been, once you have contravened the land, that form when you are giving the allocation is in that place. Once you change the use, is it that you want to tell me that you want to build filling station inside Asokoro, where in the residential area you think you want to retain the land? You can't retain the land. Automatically you forfeited that land. You forfeited that land. And why would they be building residential in the green area, Park and Gadi? Why? They wrote for conversion. The conversion was denied. And all of them, they went, what is the estate? Sold the land to them and they started building. Why is it that when the land has been revoked? We should also know that some months ago, the FCTA, they made an announcement that all Park and Garden land in Abuja has been revoked, that people should reapply. You understand me now? That all has been revoked. When there's a revocation, all the lands are revoked until you are reallocated, until you get the certification for that land. You are not the owner. And park and garden is for 30 years. It is residential area and commercial area that are for 99 years tenancy. You are not even the owner of the land, even if you buy it with your money. If it's a residential area, commercial area, it is for 99 years. If it's park and garden, it's for 30 years. Is the former chief of Naval start telling me now that he will only use that building for, because the land was allocated in 2007. How many years now? Remove it from 30 years. Is he now telling us that he's going to use the building for the remaining years? So things are not done that way. It is the social media people, especially the youth, that blew this out of proportion. It shouldn't be that. Wike, you might not like Wike. Every human being are not the same. You might not like his approach or whatever, but that does not justify that they should be glorifying the. I'm not talking of people in the city. I'm talking of Nigerians from Nigeria. They should be glorifying the act. That if I'm not Wike, but if in that land, maybe it's not park and garden, it's my land, that if somebody says it's a general, it's a corner, you station somebody there, something will happen. Okay. Something will happen. Something will happen.
Yes,
okay, Liborous, you want to talk? Let's hear, thank you. Let's hear what Liborous has.
Let me quickly respond to my friend and brother Oyeniyi again. On the issue of our three issues, on the issue of Fashola and Sanwo-Olu. Fashola, he caught the man right driving on a lane meant for BRT, and he stopped him there and there in the act. He didn't insult him. Decorum. Fashola is a lawyer also, he's an advocate. As for Sanwo-Olu, it was a court order the police were enforcing. Sanwo-Olu didn't go there and said, get out of this place. You're a fool, you're an idiot. Before you finish school, I was already a graduate. No, approach. Secondly, on this issue, when you get to site, is it at the site, oh, where are the documents? The documents, we have them. Okay, don't worry. I will
you have forwarded them to your office.
So where is my clerk? Take down his number on Monday or tomorrow, 9 a.m. meet me in the office, come with your document. But because you want to be the Superman, you already had tractors, you want to put down. And then lastly, on the third issue, revocation. You serve notice. You don't just go on TV, on radio. We have revoked all parks and gardens. Because and then 7 days you are demolishing. It is that fear. Because you also do not allow the courts to take its course. And so that is why those people who believe they have military might are resorting to self-help, which also is condemnable.
Okay, because we have
I picked something from what Oyeniyi was saying, and I feel very disappointed every time people are talking about young people on social media and how they are talking. It is a very terrible thing for people to think that young people must always think the way the older people think.
Exactly.
I don't consider myself a youth again, because I will be 15 in 2 years' time. But
you're still a youth.
God bless. No, I'm not a youth. Anybody calling me a youth now is actually insulting me. You want to deny me?
Go ahead.
That people think that the only space where young people can express themselves, when they get there, they should talk the way they should still be censored.
No.
I will continue to repeat this. That Lord Justice just in UK, there are judgments of God in UK that says that your right of expression, freedom of expression, includes insulting the other party.
Yes.
And if your freedom of speech only is restricted to saying nice things alone, then you are not free.
You're not free.
Young people should be allowed to talk, and social media has given them that space. Let them say it anyhow they want to say. Even if they are saying nonsense, remove the NON and make sense out of it. It's as simple as that. People should stop every time you hear young people, so the old people alone should be talking. Young people should not talk.
Things that will not make young people insult you.
Very offensive anytime I hear anybody say that. Very offensive. Young people go out there and talk. Continue to escalate these issues. Don't let anybody gag you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Agba Jalingo. Thank you so much, Liborous Oshoma. And thank you so much, Akinloye Oyeniyi, for your very insightful conversation on this matter. Thank you for honoring my invitation to join Perspective today. So, if there's one overreaching lesson, it is that tension thrives where systems are vague, but trust grows where protocols are clear. As a nation, we must cultivate a leadership culture where firmness does not undermine civility and where discipline does not erode accountability. Moments like this should not divide us, they should refine us. That's all we have time for today. We've been watching Perspectives, you on the Rise News with me, with Osime. Until the same time this week.